Hello and welcome to What's All the Flutter About. I am so excited. I am Miss Linda J, and I have a special guest with me today. So you may have heard my podcast, What's All the Flutter About, but I thought we'd take it up a notch and actually have our guest in the studio with us. This guest today is Mr. Chris Washington, and I couldn't be more than over the moon excited that he is our first guest. So what I'd like to do is to let Chris introduce himself, and then we'll dive into our topic of his choice.
I'm Chris Washington, the new and improved Chris Washington from
Okay.
back where some people know me,
Okay.
but I'm better now.
Okay.
So,
And family, age, you want to share any of that or just keep it?
I'm married to Debbie Washington. I have 5 kids,
Okay.
14 grandkids.
Whoa, didn't know
That
that.
was,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And like the average good man, I work hard to try to provide for my family.
Okay. And on that segue, that is our topic for today, a hard-working man. Now, don't get offended because what I'm going to add is a hard-working black man because my brother is a brother of color. So we're going to talk about what's the difference between a hardworking man and a hardworking black man because someone of a different race may have a different perspective. However, so how this came about, I had stopped by Chris and Debbie's house to pick up a package. Chris was outside doing his hobby of, what's your hobby, Chris?
Working on cars.
If you know him, then you know. If you don't now, you know. Working on cars. And when I approached the porch, Chris said, when are you going to start talking about hardworking men? And I said, huh? And I kind of laughed, didn't think he was serious, right? And then I said, hardworking man. I said, well, I don't have one of those. I don't know how to talk about one. So I said, why don't you come and be a part of my show and tell us about a hardworking man? So this is why we're here today. I have a few questions I'm going to ask Chris, and then he can just jump in with whatever he wants to. But Chris, what makes you a hardworking man?
Me,
Okay.
ever since, let's see, I'm gonna say I was about 12.
Okay.
I started mowing yards.
Okay.
I left from mowing yards, started throwing papers. Left from throwing papers, started at Golf's Hamburgers, which I'm
Oh,
sure
God,
half
a
of
lot of people-
North Park been there.
Yes, yes.
I left from there. I went to Baskets Eatery,
Okay.
and at this timeline, I'm in school, so I'm taking care of myself,
Okay.
really. And after I graduated, I started working at Mary Kay with my mother.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then after I did that, I went to Lynn Paper Company,
Okay.
and I stayed there like 15, 16 years.
Mhm.
I left there, and I'm where I am now at AAA Cooper Freight Company.
Okay.
But thing about that is, while I was at Lynn Paper,
Mhm.
my father was sick.
Mm.
I put applications in at AAA,
Okay.
and I knew I was, qualified.
Okay.
And like they say, God is always on time. When I went to Cooper,
Mhm.
I'm like, why ain't I getting this job?
Mm.
I know I got the qualification. But then after my father passed,
Mhm.
the job called me.
Wow.
So I started thinking
Wow.
it wasn't my time.
Wow.
God didn't give me that job for a reason, so I could help my mother with my father.
Oh.
And right after my father passed, Cooper called me.
Mm.
And I've been at Cooper 22 years,
Awesome. Okay.
And my thing is, when you work hard,
Mhm.
like they say, if you don't work, you don't eat.
That's
And I like to
absolutely
eat.
true.
So I'm gonna work hard.
Absolutely.
And then when you work hard,
Okay.
you can get some stuff that you want. And when you get it, you appreciate it better because you had to work for it. Ain't nobody give it to you.
Absolutely.
And I work hard for, pretty much I put all my kids through school, And when I had my first son,
That's awesome.
it hit me. I'm still back out in the streets,
Mhm.
But it hit me that this is real,
Mm.
And it's up to me to take care of my child, because he can't take care of himself, he didn't ask to be here.
That's true.
So when I got that in my mind, from then on,
Mhm.
I started working hard, and all my kids that I got, I have helped take care of them,
That's awesome.
you know.
Chris.
And I had a good wife,
Yes.
you know, because without her, a lot of things I probably would have kicked under the rug, you know.
Right.
So if you got a good wife,
Mm.
you know, standing behind you, that's your backbone, you can make it.
Awesome.
You can make it because she, you know, she.
Okay.
When I think about when I go in like a dark
Okay.
day,
Okay.
you know, she could bring me out of it, you know,
Okay.
because there's a lot of times I'd be like, man, the people on the street got it easy.
Mm.
I got to go to work and take care of all this, all that, you know, and then you get frustrated, you know, because you hate to just keep giving money away,
Absolutely.
you know.
Absolutely.
So she helps me through a lot of stuff.
Okay.
And then without God, I couldn't have nothing.
I love
You know,
that.
I love whatever I do, whatever you do, you got to put God in it.
Absolutely.
You know,
I agree.
so
I agree. And I would never see you as someone that have dark days. And I don't say that lightly, but you never come across as someone who would have dark days because I always see you as progressing. But I'm glad you shared that. What's a dark day for you, if you can share that?
it just sometimes you feel like you work hard and it feels like you're not progressing, you're not getting no further. You know,
Okay.
it's like you're at a standstill. You know,
Okay.
but I usually work through it, and then if I put my mind to it, like if I'm gonna get a car part for my race car, I focus. And when you focus, you do it.
Okay.
You get whatever you want or whatever you may, you know, have to do, you're gonna get it done.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
But it's just the fact that well, it's like some people when they want something, they want it right then.
Absolutely.
You know.
Right.
And that's kinda like me. So when I don't get it right then my mind
Got it. Okay.
start getting mad, you know, like
Okay.
I can't do it. I'm going to work every day and I don't get it, you know.
Right. Okay.
But, you know, through it all, I focus and get whatever I want,
Okay.
you know.
And you said a key thing. Of course, you know my family. I'm a PK. My dad's a pastor. So has God always been? I know your mom. I know your family. But has God always been in your life?
Yep.
Always.
I have.
Okay.
My grandparents was missionary, you know, they traveled and you know, preach, you know, run
Yeah.
revivals and stuff.
Yes,
So
yes.
church have always been in me.
Okay.
And it's a funny thing because the minute that I feel like I'm finna do something wrong, it hit me.
Okay.
It hit me, you know, and
Yeah.
I don't know, I guess when you grow up in church, you know, and you got God in you and you know right from wrong, you know,
Absolutely.
because he gonna let you know.
That's true.
You know, you just gotta listen.
Listen,
with
it's a
some-
choice.
Yeah, right,
it's
right.
a choice.
Sometimes we don't listen.
It's a choice.
You know.
And we have consequences.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
we
right,
have consequences.
right. But yeah, I've been in church since I was, shoot.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, they say train up a child in the way they should go.
right.
And when they're old, they won't depart. So it never departed from you.
No.
But I couldn't see that anyway because I know more about your family history. So I praise God for that because we have a hardworking black man that loves the Lord.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Makes a difference. Gotta
Right.
have God in your life.
Right.
Did y'all catch that? You
Right.
gotta have God in your life to make it through.
And I'm gonna tell you, if you're gonna work hard,
Yeah.
don't spend everything you make. Save something because there are gonna be rainy days.
Absolutely.
And believe it or not, you know, you might be doing good now,
yes.
but there are rainy days that comes up.
And you have a spouse that
You're
helps
right.
you and supports you.
Right.
Okay. And when you said that to me, when we were out in the yard, Chris, and I drove away and I thought about that, and I said, I mean, even though we were joking, but my comment was, I don't know what a hardworking man is because I don't have one. You know, I've been divorced since 2009 after an 18-year marriage. And I know my father's a prime example. My brother, they're hardworking men. But for me personally, I didn't know what that was like. So when you said it, it made me think, where do I get a hardworking man from? I mean, I know God has to bring him. And
Right.
what do I need to do to make sure that he stays, you know?
Well, I believe if God bring him to you,
Yeah.
he already knows, you know. He gonna lay it on your heart of what to do,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
Because if God, he's not gonna just bring you anybody.
Absolutely.
You know,
believe that.
and main thing, I believe he'll bring you somebody that's equally yoked
Okay.
love the Lord, go to church,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
I believe that, you know, because like they say, some people go out and get their own spouse, you know,
Absolutely.
and it could be the wrong one. You know, it could be the wrong one.
Can anybody testify to that?
I mean, I don't.
No. We can stop it at that. So, okay, you've already answered my next question. Have you always defined yourself as a hardworking man? And I can see that just from your answers, even from a young boy, it was just instilled in you.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
a given. So, what advice can you give to other young men or older men about how to maintain being a hardworking man?
Just go to work.
Okay.
You know, go to work, do your job, and one thing about it, if you do your job, then they can't. Whoever your employer or whoever can't
Yeah.
come to you and say, you know, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. Because if you go in there and do what you're supposed to do,
Okay.
and stay on the job, you know, go to work, don't be calling in all that there, you know,
Right.
you'll be all right.
Okay.
But the main thing is get a job.
I was gonna say for these young men, young
Get
men are
a
y'all
job.
listening?
You know,
Chris
and that's
says
the
get a
thing.
job.
That's the thing.
Mm.
When we was growing up, because I work with Don too, you know,
Okay.
we both worked at golf. And back then, the thing was get a job, get you a car,
Okay.
or in our case, a motorcycle, you know.
Okay.
You know, that's our
Okay.
thing. But now it seems like society done changed.
Definitely.
Like, younger people don't want to work,
No.
you know. That's the
No.
thing with me, you know.
Right.
And I understand they may not want to work for somebody, but you got to
Okay.
crawl for you want.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
you get a job and work and while you working, you start trying to do your own thing,
Okay.
you know. And so by the time you do your own thing, you know, hey,
So your hobby is cars.
yeah.
That's self-taught, or how did you come into that?
Sort of my daddy, I had uncles who had
Okay.
race cars. I had an uncle who had a shop, and like my son, you know, I watched my dad in there.
Okay.
And I just kind of started doing, you know, fiddling around,
Okay.
changing tires, doing brakes, you know, and before I know it,
Wow.
I
Does that-
caught on.
Does that working on cars? Does that when you're feeling some kind of way, can you go to a car and that just changed how you think about whatever, like a dark season? Will you get under the hood of a car to kind of change that dark season
Yeah.
that you're in?
Yeah,
Okay.
because it takes put something else on my mind.
Okay.
Because I get so interested in that,
Okay.
the dark day done went on out the door, you know.
Okay. Do you
So-
come back to that thought, or you just, if it's gone, it's gone?
If it's gone, it's gone.
Okay, I like that. Okay.
You know, because if I couldn't figure it out then,
Yeah.
I'm not finna waste my time trying to go back and try to figure it out. You
Okay.
know?
So let me ask you, Chris, do you have other guy friends? Don, by the way, is our camera guy today, Don Weaver, and that's who Chris is referring to. He's been a long time friend. But do you have guy friends where y'all just sit around and talk about it? Talk about things. You know,
Yeah.
women can get together and we can just yap, but do you do that with
I
you have a
have
circle
about-
of brothers?
Yeah. I
Okay.
have about 5 people.
Okay.
My brother, Ronnie Harrison, Jared Edwards,
Okay.
and now our boys have gotten in the circle. You know,
Awesome.
so
I
we,
like
we
that.
all kind of like a race team. We all got
Okay.
cars, you know.
Okay.
So we
okay.
sit around and, you know, pick out a subject, and you know, we might sit there all night and talk. Because
Okay.
everybody got something to say, you know, especially if it's
love
about a car or the
Yeah.
track or something. We can sit around all night long and talk about that.
I love it.
You know.
Okay. And everybody's advising off of each other.
Yeah.
Y'all trust
Yeah.
each other like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
Mhm.
I love it. And
Yeah.
is that an often thing or just do y'all
Pretty
have a
much.
set time? Okay.
No, we might just, they might come by my house. You know, we
Just
might
stop by.
yeah. Before you know it, we done collected a crew, you know. We done collected a crew. And because
Right.
most of the people we hang around like cars.
Okay. Okay. So that's the connecting factor. Your son, how many sons do you have, Chris?
2.
2. Okay. And are they both into the same hobby as you are, or are they on different paths?
Pretty much, but my younger son, he's more like me.
Okay.
He's really into racing, you know.
Okay.
My other son, he likes it, but he's not like us.
Okay.
It's kind of like it's our heart, you know.
Right, right,
But
right.
yeah.
Okay. And your fatherly advice to your daughters. Let's just change the channel right quick. How do you groom your daughters to be a respectable woman and to look for a hardworking man?
You know what? It's funny you asked that because my daughters, they they had got hung up on trying to find somebody like me.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
they wouldn't bring nobody around if they didn't think that I approved of them.
I like that.
You know,
Okay.
it's just like
That's honorable, Chris.
yeah,
That's saying
yeah,
a lot.
yeah. And I had told Debbie that you're not gonna find nobody like me.
Right.
You know, you might find somebody kind of like me, but
Right.
everybody got their own,
Right.
way of life. You know,
Absolutely.
so
Absolutely.
you got to kind of give.
Okay.
Cause when my let me see, my middle daughter was gonna get married,
Mhm.
and she got a good husband.
Okay.
My youngest daughter told her, if you don't think you're gonna be with it, don't bring around daddy.
Okay.
So, I'm happy that they respect me
yeah.
like that.
That's a lot.
I'm
that's a
happy that
lot.
they respect me like that.
That's
But
a
so
lot.
far, my youngest daughter, she just got married this year,
Right.
and he's a good guy too.
Okay.
So I mean, the Lord have been blessing them with
I
good
love it.
guys.
That's
you
awesome,
know,
Chris.
my older daughter
That's
Priscilla,
awesome.
I don't think Priscilla gonna get married.
Okay.
you know,
okay.
I don't think she gonna get married, but she
Okay.
may. You know,
Okay.
but
But she's
I
in a
just-
good place.
she's in a good place.
She's,
I mean,
she's been groomed. She's in a good place.
right, and
Yeah.
they don't depend on a man. You know,
Love it.
they do not
love
depend
it.
on a man.
I
I'd
love
rather for if something go wrong, I'd rather for them to come to me before you
Absolutely.
beg a man.
Absolutely.
Come to me.
Yeah.
You
I
know.
like that. You're a good daddy, a good papa, a good father. How about that?
I try to be.
You're a good father.
I tried to be.
Okay, so let's see. What are some things that you wish you had done differently? Is there anything that you knew if you had done it differently, you'd be in a different place, or would you just leave your life as it has played out for you?
Well, I was talking to my cousin one day. I said, you know what? I wish that when I got out of school,
Mhm.
I would have listened and went to college.
Okay.
That's my biggest thing.
Okay.
College or went on to the service.
Okay.
Cause I mean, I was going to the service, and I don't think I had to do pass my physical. But that day I got out of school, I went home.
Okay.
I changed my mind,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
And to this day, I wish I would have went on, cause there's a lot of opportunities, you know,
Right.
for service people, you know. And if I would have went to college, God knows where I probably would be at this time, you know.
Right. Or your family, or
Yeah.
your wife, or your kids.
Yeah,
You wouldn't
so
have any of that.
that's one
so-
thing. If you're
okay.
still in school, you got the chance to go to college. Go to college.
Okay. You heard it right out of his mouth. If you're still in school, you have a chance to go. I chose not to go. I got married early, young rather, but that was my choice.
Yeah.
And like you, if I could do things over again, I probably would have focused more on education, and getting
Me
some
too.
type of degree, because everything that I've learned, I've had to learn really on my own with
Right.
the help of the Lord. But
Right.
I had to go back door kind of
Right.
to get to where
Right.
I am. So, okay, I like that. My last question for you, unless you have something else, chivalry. I was talking to a girlfriend earlier about that, and we were saying how some men don't open doors, don't pump the gas for the car, don't do the groceries, don't do the cooking. What do you have to say about men like that? Or is chivalry still around,
I believe it's still around. I
Okay.
see it sometimes.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
It might not be around as much as it used
Why
to.
do you think that is? Why do you think that is? I'm so curious, because it was established so long ago. What has happened where men don't take those simple roles anymore?
Well, actually, this day and time, a lot have changed.
Okay.
You know.
Sure.
Cause I mean, I ain't. I'm not gonna even lie. I open the door for my wife, but sometimes I go to the other side of the car. I'm not gonna sit here and say I
Okay,
open the
that's
door to my
honesty.
wife,
Okay.
you know, all the time, you know.
Yeah.
But when it comes to pumping gas and all of that, washing cars and all that,
Yeah.
I'm there. That would be my only mishap
Okay.
is sometimes opening the door. But
Okay.
other than that,
That's a simple thing, though.
yeah,
I
other
mean,
than that, I do. My wife can tell you, I take care of the house, I take care of the cars. I make sure she got a good car. I'd rather have the hoopty
right.
than my wife.
Right.
You know,
Right.
because I can stop on the side of the road, I go walking.
Right.
She gonna call me.
She,
She
as
gonna
we
call
know
me.
she will.
Yeah.
As we know
Yeah,
she will.
yeah. So, and that's just,
Okay.
you know, pretty much my mother, my sister. You know, I had told that I don't work on cars no more.
Right.
But seems my mother and my sister didn't hear me.
I didn't say it. You did.
They don't hear me.
Okay.
But I mean, hey,
Mimi go get you.
you know, it
now.
is what it is. You know, that's my mother,
Okay,
that's my
right.
sister. You know, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do to
Absolutely.
keep them rolling.
But you've done it for so long, so
Yeah,
you've already
yeah.
established.
And I
who
can't,
you are. Right.
I can't
it's
tell them no. I better not tell them no.
right.
You know.
Right.
So, and,
Okay.
you know, I don't mind still messing with people because, you know, that I know
Okay.
really need my services, you know.
So, last question, we can wrap it up. What advice would you give someone like me who desires a hardworking man? What's the simple form that you would say? Linda J.
Don't just jump into it. Know the man, you know what he about. Study him.
Okay.
You know, a lot of people just jump into a relationship, then next thing you know, they jump into a marriage.
Yeah.
It ain't what they thought it was, you know.
Right.
So I would say, don't just jump into it, you
Okay.
know. And like they say, don't be easy,
No.
you know.
No.
So
Can't
it's-
afford that.
Yeah, you know what you're doing when you do it.
Okay. Know who he is.
No,
And send him to you to check him out.
Yeah,
How about that?
because I showed to you.
So
I sure
we're
did.
gonna do that. On that note, I'm gonna stop because y'all, thank you, Chris, for coming out and being our first guest on What's All the Flutter About. This has been absolutely amazing, and I'd like for you to come back because I feel like there's more that you can
Oh, you know I'll
offer
be back.
to our. Yeah,
You know me and
gotta
you.
come back.
You know me and you. We go way back.
We do. We really do. But I appreciate the honesty. I knew he would bring it, so I wasn't even worried about that. And I just wanted it to be kind of raw. And I think he was being careful about some of the things that he was saying, which is fine. But Chris, thank you again for being here. Don, thank you for being behind the camera. This has been our first episode of What's All the Flutter About. Stay tuned because there is more. Y'all take care.